My name's Grayson. I was an NCAA Division I track and field athlete, and now I'm currently on Liberty University's D1 Women's Ultimate Frisbee team. I was an athlete ever since I was 2, I think. I started doing soccer, and then from there started doing field hockey. When things in high school got hard academically and socially, I really excelled athletically, so that kind of became who I was known as, just a really good athlete. Sophomore year, I picked up track and field and did that the next 3 years. But it wasn't until my junior year of doing track and field that I really got good at javelin and started competing at the state level. And that's when I was looking at colleges for either field hockey or for javelin. I first reached out to Liberty's field hockey team and didn't get a response from the coach. So decided then I should reach out to the track coach and got a response there, was put on an official visit. And I knew I wanted to go D1 because it kind of acted also, like, along with the identity thing, as like the safety blanket to show that I was actually worth something. In becoming a Division I athlete, the Lord had kind of changed my view of what it means to actually be an athlete surrendered to Christ and not just an athlete who identifies only as an athlete. When I got to college, I was used to working hard, but it was definitely at another level of just commitment, like 3-hour days being at the track. And I was also just not the best anymore. I went from being like easily the most athletic person in my class to being slightly above average maybe. The biggest hardship my first year was not being eligible to compete at first. I trained through that year, pushing really hard to like show that I belonged to be here, and then it ended up being COVID anyway, so no season. And through that, I learned what it meant to work hard. From that kind of catapulted into my next 4 years of competing. I got injured my first season, which was very devastating because it's an 8-month recovery usually, and there's no promises that when you come back that you'll be fully recovered. I tore my UCL in my elbow. It just happened throwing javelin. It's a pretty common injury among javelin throwers, but through that experience, I definitely learned what it meant to really seek the Lord in a time of darkness all around. So at the same time that I injured my elbow, they still take me to regionals even though I'm injured, just to have the experience. I made it there, so I kind of earned my spot, but I wasn't going to be able to compete. While we're there, I have my second kidney failure episode of my life. I had my first one a couple months before that, and I thought surgery could wait. But then I learned that I would need kidney surgery before I would need elbow surgery, which pushed back my recovery. I was super depressed. But through that, I kind of leaned into the Lord and the role that He put me in as upperclassman on the team. My biggest accomplishment as a college athlete on paper would be breaking the freshman record in javelin. I threw 48 meters. Come the end of my javelin career, my biggest accomplishment was definitely like the relationships that I made. Once I graduated, I didn't know what I was going to do athletically, but I knew I wanted to stay active. I found this really cool opportunity with USA Boxing to be in their elite athlete transfer program. So 100-something applicants applied. They took 7 of us to training camp, made us train for 2 weeks. At the end of the 2 weeks, they took 3 of us on in this elite athlete transfer program. Come the end of a 3-week camp, they offered me a contract and said, you can train with us most of the year. You'll be at this training camp in Colorado. Because going to the Olympics was always like my dream, at first I was like, oh duh, obviously, of course I'm going to take the contract to go to the Olympics. But I prayed about it and I was like, wait, God, I really hate boxing. Boxing is a lot different than a lot of other sports because its main objective is to really just hurt the other person and to not get hurt yourself. So I personally can't find justification for myself to box. I felt like it wasn't the right time for me to sign on to train with an Olympic team full time. So I stayed in Lynchburg. And then how I got into Frisbee is a friend of a friend told me about Summer League. So I just started Summer League and loved it. It was so much fun, the community, the sport. I hope that my faith and the way I compete and the way I carry myself as an athlete inspires others to not think that whether I win or lose this game is going to be devastating to my identity. Train and compete like it depends on you, but pray like it depends on God. Train hard, like train as hard as you can as onto the Lord, and leave the rest up to God.